conference. The title of our next conference is Why Hotels Only Optimize the Space Where There is a Bed. And the speaker would be Pablo Torres. He is a customer success consultant at TSA Solutions. Pablo has worked in the hospitality industry for 20 years, evenly split between hotel revenue and operations in Europe, and consulting and training globally. Working for TSA FPG, Pablo has implemented solutions to improve revenue optimization in over 150 locations, having trained and coached more than 2,000 professionals in more than 20 countries. Pablo, it's all yours for the next 15 minutes and these 5 minutes for questions.
Okay, thanks very much, Jaime, and thanks also to Isabella, Christian, and of course, Bedrooms for inviting me today. I had a presentation of myself, but obviously I'm going to skip it because you did already, so that slide goes off. And what I wanted to do is focus on how to maximize revenue in hotels. So how to focus on total revenue management, which is a topic that's been discussed for a long time, but not that many hotels really applied. So I'd like to focus on that, mainly on 3 points. So first one will be to the total revenue culture throughout the entire customer journey. Second point about the fact that every outlet helps, and we very often we only focus on F&B, but there are many outlets and more spaces. We could touch on that. And then also some ideas how to improve the total upsell revenue in hotels. Okay, so let me go through it. So first one here is a definition of what is total revenue culture. I took it from Hospitality Insights, a website, so you can read it there. And I think the key in here, it's this word here, untapped. So it says related to capturing mostly untapped revenue and profit potential. And the challenge that many hotels have is that they don't even realize how much potential they have and how much money they're leaving on the table. So they focus a lot on rooms, obviously, for many, many years. But the other outlets, they just keep on going with their operations without really focusing on how to drive revenue in there. That's why I gave this name to the speak today, why hotels are mainly only maximizing revenue in the space where there is a bed. So first one here on the customer journey point, it's very, very important to have a proper marketing campaign. Either you do it yourself or you outsource it. I'm going to be giving you names of different companies, different tools that help hotels, with a bit of bias for Spanish companies, since we are talking about the IMED Hotel Spain. So we have a few in there. And the importance of having a proper website, mobile friendly. I still encounter from TSA with our clients, hotels that they have rooms without pictures on their website, or they have better information of their own hotels on third parties than on their own website. That shouldn't happen, okay? Because that you're losing money to third party, or even people going to book elsewhere, which it shouldn't be the case. So unless if you cannot do it yourself, outsource it, but make sure you have a very good marketing campaign in place. Then at the first stage, planning and booking, you have companies, for example, like Bedroom. They do great on capturing direct bookings through how they sell the rooms with lower prices, with this club that they run. In terms of pre-arrival, for example, make sure that you read your guests before arrival, offering them extras. It could be upgrades, it could be upsells, it could be cross-selling. And again, give you more tools. You have Oki, for example, great Dutch company that they do a very good job sending pre-arrival emails like 10 days in advance, 3 days in advance, to make sure that you manage to be informed mainly, improve the customer satisfaction, and also drive more revenue to the customers. Or Upsell Guru, which is a different approach. It's about bidding on upselling, but it's also a useful tool. And the good thing about most of these companies we're going to be talking about today is that they are most of them the SaaS, or software as a service. So technology, the cost that used to be a challenge is not there anymore. Most hotels can now afford this sort of technology. Next step, we move into on-stay. Obviously, I have to talk about ourselves, TSA, an FPG company, part of the FPG group now. And what we do specializes in driving performance through in-house upselling. So it can be at the desk, reservations, F&B, spa, but it's about suggestive selling, okay? And very, very important to emphasize that it's not about pushing customers, it's about informing them that the options that you have, okay? Engaging with them in a conversation and base that offer on the needs that they have. And you also have companies like Hoteligi, for example, a Spanish company again, they have a very interesting web app So very good for resorts, especially. So if the guest has booked a booking, has made a booking, sorry, for a restaurant for tonight, the app is going to offer them a cheaper bottle of wine. Or if the customer is going to book a gym slot, for example, it's going to offer them a cheaper spa treatment. Okay. So again, different ways to make extra revenue. After departure, very important, make sure you keep the email from the guest and you have all the information. It's fine if the customers come at least once or the first time, let's say, sorry, they come to an OTA, but it shouldn't be every time, okay? And you can avoid that by making sure you capture the email and then you offer and you send them offers directly through your own channel. And you have Hotel Linking, for example, a company from Mallorca, which is doing that very good for hotels. So that'll be the first one, the first topic I wanted to touch today. Second one is about the outlets, okay? So that every outlet helps to maximize the revenue and to drive extra potential. And as I was saying before, it's not only F&B. You can consider the lobby as a revenue generator as well. Let me give you an example of a hotel. This is the DoubleTree by Hilton in Amsterdam Central Station. So close to the central station. It's a very narrow building, close to the train tracks you see there. And they have this idle space here. They didn't know what to do with it. It was too narrow for a restaurant. It was in the corner. So what they did is get revenue, Starbucks. So they placed a Starbucks on the corner. They are operated themselves, but it could be franchise, either or. So now they have a space, which is a dead space in the lobby, generating revenue for the hotel, in this case, through a coffee shop. And there are companies that are doing a very good job in this sense. You have, for example, Soho House globally, which they mix the lobby / F&B outlets / reception all in one. And they generate loads of revenue in that sense. And then you also have, for example, in Spain, Only You Hotels by Palladium, which have a very similar concept in that sense. Like the lobby shouldn't be a dead space. The lobby should be a place where you generate revenue and enhance the guest experience. And in that case, they also do a very, very good job. So that's about the lobby. Then we move into F&B, okay? And of course, we all know that F&B is driving revenue, but I mean, are we maximizing it, okay? So restaurants, for example, you have a restaurant serving meals, serving lunch, serving dinner. What about in between? What is that space doing in between? Are you generating revenue? Can you generate it? Right? And there are options, for example, the Nomad app, Spanish app, that it's offering those spaces, those empty spaces for an F&B as co-working spaces. So you don't know where to go, 6 p.m., find the app and you go to a quiet restaurant, you can work peacefully and generate revenue, obviously, for the restaurant. And then it's very, very important to have proper KPIs and take care of them, make sure they're followed, okay, and adhere to. So RevPAS, for example, revenue per available seat per hour, the revenue per available square feet or meter, or the time per table turnaround. Is still many restaurants, they are kind of scared to tell people they only have 90 minutes or 120 minutes to have their meal. But if you want to maximize revenue, there's no other option. Okay, so the host is not someone that just sitting people or telling them sit wherever you want. They really have to have a proper, accurate planning on who is sitting where, the tables, where you put the table for 2, 3, 4, 6 people, so you maximize the space as well. That's also to be considered. Number of customers you're having, and there, a good example could be, and again, Spanish company Cover Manager. They have a great software for restaurants to track all this information for hotels. And then very, very important as well, you have to track the staff productivity, okay? Both front office and back office and kitchen, how much revenue each team member generating, regardless if they're a waiter or bartender or in the kitchen, for example, how much food is wasted. Okay? That's also another KPI that can be used to make sure you maximize revenue in F&B in this case. And last example here in F&B will be Dynamite, which are great. They do smart pricing, so menu engineering using digital menus. So in the past, with a paper menu, it was challenging to update it. But now you have a QR code, and you scan it. It's very easy to do menu engineering, to change some dishes, to change the order, so it's more enticing for customers to go for that dish that you want to sell first. Right? And they do a great job in that sense. So I invite people to take advantage of these apps and tools. Same applies to the spa. Okay, so I still encounter many hotels where the reception cannot book F&B or cannot book spa because they don't have access to the software. And so, oh, customer comes to the reception. Oh, can I book a treatment in the spa? Sorry, you have to talk to them. That person will not go to the spa. You're losing a booking, okay? So implement some sort of software when you're tracking the average treatment rate or you're tracking the revenue per available treatment hour in the, and also the spa revenue per occupied room, treatment room. In this case, obviously, we're talking about the spa. And also the total revenue per square meter on the spa. So to maximize the space and make sure the treatment rooms are not sitting empty in there. So another Spanish company there is Palopia from the Canary Islands. They do a great job, and they help, for example, in this case, reception have access to the planning and be able to make bookings for the spa, so nobody leaves without a booking in that sense. And again, as I said, with F&B, also very important, therapist productivity in that case. And also the same applies with media and events. So now it's becoming more challenging after the, well, still pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, call it however you want. But it's going to be less events happening, or it's going to be smaller. So you have to make sure to really maximize the revenue you get from them. Many hotels still don't really have a proper policy in terms of, am I taking just any inquiry that I get, or do I really have a management plan in place, or do I have any software that is helping me to decide? Do I know about my revenue per square feet, for example, that event compared to another inquiry that I might have? Do I calculate the attendee density, for example? Now talking about social distancing as well, the revenue I'm generating for attendee, the displacement cost, of saying yes to this inquiry but not to the next one. Okay, so again, there are tools in the market that help you with that. So it could be Getting to More, which is doing a great job with artificial intelligence in there, and then the classic ideas, or Duetto also, they have a specialized software for media and events. And then lastly, I want to give you some ideas to improve total revenue. Some of them are known, others might be new for you, so hopefully they're helpful. First one will be early check-in and late check-out, which is a classic, but still many hotels still feel uncomfortable to charge a customer for an early check-in. And the thing is, why is that? I mean, it's a business, so it's like, well, if the room is available, why do I have to charge for it? I can give it to them and improve their experience. Okay, yeah, fine, that's a point of view, but at the end of the day, you could generate extra revenue. And what they're doing there is giving something for free that you could be charging to improve the stay. But are you just buying their better perception or your service because you're giving them something for free? So there's this study by Hotel Flex saying that 20% of every guest arriving early are willing to pay up to 15% extra of the ADR for an early check-in. So imagine how much money it could be generated. Sorry, I'm getting a bit blurry there. Let me put the camera on again. Too blurry. And you have companies, for example, like Hotel Treats, that help you sell different packages. So historically, hotels have not really been very friendly to the environment, to the neighbors, but you can open up your doors and sell, for example, gym access, spa access, pool access to your neighbors, okay? So, and there are companies like this one, Hotel Trades, for example, that help you. Even they created the website for free, and they charge a commission in their case. So there's no cost involved for the hotel to open up to the community, let's put it like that. And you can also rent spaces. So look around your property and think, okay, where are the local clubs? Are there any associations that might be interested in renting space? Now it's sitting empty. Maybe I can do a special offer for them, cheaper price. Okay, Worktail is an app that can be used for that sense, for that purpose. Sorry, parking, for example. It might be that you have a very fancy restaurant next to your hotel, and you can use your parking, which might be half empty, for customers going to that restaurant. Or you can use an app like Parkify, for example, for that purpose. Okay. Booking rooms by hours. I mean, that's been done for a long time already by many hotels. And then a last example would be hiring the empty living rooms from suites as private meeting rooms. I mean, people now is concerned about social distancing, so why not use those nice living rooms with nice desks as a private dining room, as opposed as having it empty and sending customers either to a restaurant or a meeting room. Okay, so that's an extra way to generate revenue. So recapping those three ideas, I wanted to touch base again. Total revenue culture throughout the entire customer journey, from the planning on the customer mind until after they've departed. You have loads of different steps. You can maximize the revenue. Every outlet helps. Okay, it's all about the mindset. The space is there, and just try to change the way you approach it, and I'm sure there'll be more revenue that can be generated, and yeah, maximize the space from every area of the hotel, from the lobby to F&B to the golf course if you have it, to the parking. There's always ways to make more revenue. And that's it from my side. So if there are any questions, happy to reply to them.
Yeah, thank you, Pablo. Lots of interesting ideas. We have some questions for you. First question, do you think there could also be added benefits to opening up the hotel to the community for added revenue?
Well, I think I sort of mentioned it there, no, that opening the hotel, it's about looking at around your community, let's say your area, what's around you. So are there any local clubs, for example? You can hire some space in there, even sports clubs. They have gatherings. Most associations, they have like a weekly or a monthly meeting. That where is that happening? Okay, so why not in your hotel? So it's about trying to have a different approach, different mindset, and trying to maximize the spaces and bring it closer to the area. And also it's about trying to create some better connection with the community. So if you have a hotel, concierge could be recommending mainly the shops, the restaurants, the cafes that are close to the hotel. So it's trying to create that nice network with the community that is around the hotel that benefits everyone.
Do you have any communication tips for making this idea the most appealing for the local community or guests? I think you maybe answered.
I mean, there are some, I mean, even with Google, for example, I was talking with someone in Marriott, and what they do for like geolocation, so they only send the campaign to whoever is nearby the hotel. So if you open up Google and they're like 300 meters from the hotel, you'll get that ad based on it. So, and then again, it's not a very expensive tool to use, Google, in that sense. So there are loads of different apps or solutions in the market which are affordable and more affordable now, like with the cost of technology is going down. So I think it's the excuse, which was a reason for many hotels in the past. I do not use technology because it's too expensive. Now it's gone because most of them, they charge a tiny, small monthly fee. So almost everyone can afford it.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Pablo, for your conference.